These are the highest probability plays for the day. This is the Daily Profit brought to you by Linemaker Sports. I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. On today's show, we're going to go over the highest probability plays for the MLB and also for Thursday night football. All right, but before we get to that, let's talk about yesterday's show and the results as we went through. First off, the pitchers, they did pretty good across the board. They did exactly what we thought they were going to do. All right, our pitchers that we thought were going to go under earned runs, Suarez, Quintana, both of them did. And then Dylan Cease, we threw on a fade alert. Guess what? 2 innings in, he gets rocked, gives up 3 earned. They take him right out of the game. So our pitchers did exactly what we thought they were going to do. Hitters-wise, or, runs scored, Alvarez, unfortunate, he gets on base because of a force out. Lindor comes up, hits a grand slam, and he ends up scoring. So a little rough, bad beat there. And then in college football, we had the Jacksonville State quarterback to go over 60 rushing yards. He had 58. He went too shy and didn't really play the fourth quarter whatsoever because they were up by like 50-something points. So nothing you can really do on that aspect of things because they're bad beats. All right, there's nothing you can do. Sometimes you can go back and analyze the reason why maybe you didn't hit a high probability play, and you'll see it was just something that there's no control over. All right, there's no control over that. If there's a blowout, they're going to sit the guy. If somehow a force out, the guy isn't even supposed to be on base but ends up on base, then the next guy comes up, hits a home run. Nothing you could do about that. All right, for other plays, we had Freddie Freeman over 1 hit, and he didn't even make it to the lineup. Harrison Bader, we had under run scored in the Mets game. He didn't make it into the lineup. A little bit fishy there. They kept both those guys out of the lineups. And then we had Austin Matthews to get at least 1 point, but the Maple Leafs ended up getting shut out. So he didn't even get a shot at getting a point. All right, but that's just what happens sometimes. All right, guys, sometimes that's the way it rolls. In sports betting, you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. That's just the way that it goes. All right, if you're going to beat yourself up over a bad beat, trust me, you don't belong in this game because it's going to happen, and it's going to happen both ways, where you win a bet by a bad beat and you lose a bet by a bad beat. All right, so it goes both ways. But let's get into today. Let's first talk about Tanner Bibee. All right, he's got a 67% chance to go under 2.5 earned runs, but that drops pretty drastically when he goes against the top 10 in batting. All right, last week we had him on the show as well, and he ended up going 4.2 innings, giving up nothing. All right, so he actually played pretty well, even though he was going against a top 10 team in batting. All right, but is what it is. Like I said, when I look at that, that's inconsistent. So I kind of lean off of the inconsistency there. Don't really like it too much. All right, let's talk about Michael Wacha. He's got a 67% chance to go under 2.5 earned runs. And that drops pretty drastically to 47% when he goes against the top 10 batting. All right, in the last outing, he had 4 innings and gave up 3 earned. All right, so he would have lost last time if he would have did the under 2.5 earned runs for him. So again, inconsistent. Again, I don't like numbers that drastically change unless they drastically change opposite. Similar to Suarez yesterday, Ranger Suarez, where he was 59% overall to go under 2.5, but when he plays better teams, that jumped to 80%. All right, that's the only time I like where an inconsistent number. It's when they get better when they're playing against a team that's similar to who they're playing against. All right, when they have those stats. So let's talk about Garrett Cole now. In Garrett Cole's last outing, like I said, playoffs, he's a little bit shaky. He tends to give up some runs, and that's exactly what he did. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 earned. All right, so his percentages dropped a little bit. He's got a 67% chance to go under 2.5 earned runs and a 58% chance to go under 2.5 earned runs versus the top 10 batting teams. Again, it's Garrett Cole. He could go out there and pitch a gem. He can go out there and pitch decent. But his decent could give up 3 runs, just like he did. All right, because he didn't pitch too bad in that last game. He just ended up giving up 3 runs. All right, but let's get to Riley Green now. We're going to talk about some hitters. All right, so Riley Green for the Detroit Tigers has a 65% chance to get a hit. He's batting .308 off Tanner Bibee. He's pretty much the only one in the lineup that's actually batting pretty decent against Bibee. All right, he doesn't have too many at-bats, so that's what worries me a little bit. But his percentage is still there. Across the year, he's been batting pretty good. All right, 65% chance to be able to get a hit is not too bad. The only thing is he does bat a little bit further down in the lineup, so it's not always guaranteed he's going to get probably 4 at-bats, especially if, Bibby comes out there and pitches a gem. So this one is a choice for a hitter. Like I said, the only problem I kind of don't like is that he's batting a little bit lower in the lineup. All right, that takes us to Juan Soto. All right, Juan Soto, 68% chance to get a hit, and he's batting .429 off Michael Wacha. All right, this one's not too bad of an option because you got Juan Soto batting up in the lineup, all right, against Wacha, who we just looked is inconsistent with his percentages, doesn't pitch too well against the better batting teams. So mix that in with Juan Soto going to be up there. As long as he doesn't get walked, he should have a pretty good shot at getting a hit. All right, now it takes us to Salvador Perez, who was on our hit alert a couple days ago, ended up hitting a home run for us. Now we're going on the opposite side here. All right, he has a 68% chance to not cross the plate, to go under 0.5 runs scored. And he's batting 111 versus Cole. All right, one of the worst on the team against Garrett Cole. Now, the only issue here is he's batting up in the lineup. So he might get at least 4 ABs. All right, unlike if we're on a run scored prop that, they're batting 8, 9 hole, they might only get 3 at-bats or they might get pinch hit. All right, so they might get taken out of the game. That's not going to probably happen here for Salvador Perez. He's probably going to get 4 strong at-bats to try to get on base and to try to score. And he always has that hit power to end up hitting a home run. All right, but overall, numbers aspect-wise, analytically, he's got a 68% chance to not cross the plate when Garrett Cole is pitching. All right, now let's get into Thursday night football. We got the Seahawks at the 49ers. Let's talk about Geno Smith. All right, so Geno Smith passing yards right now. For him to go over 215 plus, we get a good 71.42% chance of that happening. All right, so that's pretty good. Now, as you can see, as we go up further, his numbers start drastically dropping. So over 230 passing yards, we get to 57.14%. All right, so not too good going up a little bit, going up 15 yards. Now, if we go to what the minus 110 line is across the board for every sportsbook, which is about 250, we're going under 50% there. All right, we get 42.85% chance for him to go over 250 passing yards against the 49ers. So if you're thinking about anything with Geno Smith, prop play for Geno Smith, the only way we can go here is over 215 passing yards, which is going to be probably in that minus 220-ish range, I'm thinking. All right, I haven't looked, but just off the top of the head, it's probably what it's going to be at. All right, and if you're looking to match him up with someone, obviously we're going to match him up with DK Metcalf. The funny thing is here is DK Metcalf has the same exact percentages as him. All right, so over 50 plus receiving yards, he has a 71.42% chance. Now, bump that up only 5 yards, and we're going down 14% there. All right, to 57% chance, over 55 receiving yards. And then over 60 plus, which is his minus 110 line, drops to 42.85%. All right, so the only way to go for DK here is 50 plus. All right, you really can't go anywhere else because just the percentages and the odds are not going to line up. All right, just like I said, 60 plus receiving yards, you're getting a minus 110 line at that, but only 42% chance of him to be able to hit that. All right, so you got no edge on that whatsoever. So the only way you can go here with Geno Smith and DK Metcalf is taking their lowest number possible. All right, and it's going to be expensive to take, but it is what it is. All right, you want to be on the probability side, that's the way you got to roll. All right, and let's talk about the F-bombs that I got on board for today. I got an 80% receiving yards over. I got another NFL prop that has an 80% chance of hitting. An NHL points over, 81% chance of that hitting. And a college football rushing over that has 80% chance of hitting. If you guys want those, make sure you click in the description, click the link, and join the group. All right, you join the group, I post them in there. All you got to do is download the app, boom, you're in there, you see all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and go through all these guys one more time. All right, start with Tanner Bibby. Again, inconsistent. So I don't prefer a pitcher that's inconsistent, especially when they get worse when they go against better batting teams. I'm just, he had a great last outing, but I don't like 41%. All right, don't like it. Michael Wacha, same thing, inconsistent. All right, when you go against better teams, he doesn't pitch as well. All right, last outing gave up 3 earned. He only pitched 4 innings. So, and we got Juan Soto on the other side for a hit. So, I kind of don't, you don't want to sandwich both. You really don't, because we kind of ran into that the other day with Ramirez and a pitcher, Jose Ramirez. We had our pitcher pitched a gem. Jose Ramirez was on the opposite side there. We wanted him to get a hit. He ended up not getting a hit. All right. Garrett Cole, not as bad as the others with the inconsistency, but still it does drop when he goes against better batting teams. 58% chance there for him to go under 2.5 earned runs. His last outing, like I say, didn't pitch that bad. All right, he had 5 innings, but he did give up 3 earned. So if you were on that under 2.5, you would get burned. All right, and it's Garrett Cole. He can come out in the playoffs. He can pitch a absolute gem, or he can come out, pitch decent, or he can come out and get rocked. All right, so he's a bit inconsistent. So me personally, I don't really like that too much. All right, Riley Green for Detroit Tigers. 65% chance to get a hit. Bats 308 versus Bibby. Only downside here, I would say, is that he bats a little bit further down, so not 4 ABs guaranteed. I always like my hitters to get at least 4 at bats. All right, because it's already hard enough to get 1 hit. All right, so you need to be able to have as many shots as possible to get that hit. Next up is Juan Soto. I do like this one. All right, Juan Soto with 68% chance to get a hit. He's batting 429 versus Wacha. Wacha inconsistent, as we just spoke about. So as long as he doesn't get walked, I think that he's going to have a good shot to get a hit today. All right, Salvador Perez. This one I don't mind as well. Only thing is, there's a couple things that go against us. All right, is he bats up in the lineup, so he's probably going to get 4 at bats at least, and he has the home run power to go yard anytime he's up. But he is batting 111 versus Garrett Cole, so there should be 3 of those at bats probably that go against Garrett Cole if Garrett Cole has a decent outing. So the odds are on our side there for that under run scored. All right, and a 68% probability is pretty good. Now it takes us to Thursday Night Football again. Geno Smith. The only way we can go here with Geno Smith is 215 passing yards. All right, that's the only way that we can go. Can't go 230 because the odds are just not going to be. There's no edge there, and your minus 110 line, there's negative edge pretty much on that. And then the same exact numbers for DK Metcalf. You can only really go over 50 receiving yards. Everywhere else, we're pretty much got negative edge there. All right, we can't go anywhere else. So that's the only place you can go for Thursday Night Football with those 2 players. And again, the F-bombs I got for tonight, I got 4 80% plus. All right, so if you guys want them, click the link in the description. All right, as always, guys, I'm Frank from Linemaker Sports. This is the Daily Profit. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Till then, I'm out.